Hello, everybody. John Marshall for Oncology Unscripted, coming to you from my now almost empty office. I've been in this office for, 20 plus years. It's the big office. You may or may not know I stepped down as the division chief here at Georgetown. Planned. I wanted to do it a while ago. They said no. So I finally got able to step down because I wanted to do some other things. I get a lot of time back from meetings that I really didn't want to go to in the first place. So I'm happy about that. And it's enabled me to get back to the world of clinical cancer research and to try and innovate in our space and do a lot less administrative things. So I am glad for the clean out, moving down to a smaller office and a fresh reboot. So probably one of the last times, maybe the last time I film from this spot. But I wanted to take some time to review some high-level things that have changed in a big way in our world just in the last week or two. So the one that struck me the biggest is that there's been a change in black box warnings around hormones for postmenopausal women. And I can't, I lived this too, where we went from hormones were a good thing and all postmenopausal women were more or less taking them, to then it was unopposed estrogens were evil. And then the cancer lobby and the breast cancer lobby really was responsible for making it so women stopped taking hormones. We made it so terrifying that hormones were going to cause breast cancer that, certainly oncologists weren't prescribing it. GYNs stopped doing it. Primary care docs stopped doing it because no one was really willing to take the risk. And I think about the suffering, quite honestly, that postmenopausal women have been doing since this time is really remarkable. And it's only now that people have gone back to actually look at the clinical trials and look at the studies and actually pretty clearly show that hormone replacement is not bad for these people. And in fact, if you look at the colon cancer literature, surprisingly, there was evidence that it decreased the risk of getting colon cancer. And even despite that, they didn't want to change it around. So I am excited about that black box warning change. So if you're a postmenopausal woman or you know some that are around you, make sure that if they're interested, there are new options for those patients. But there's a second warning that has been installed, and this is around 5-FU and DPD testing, dihydropyrimidine dehydrogenase testing for 5-FU clearance. And why I think it's a big deal is not only is it an updated black box, but NCCN has embraced it. And I think it's a big enough deal that I hope you will click in and watch my interview with Howard McLeod, who is really the world's expert in this space, about what we should be doing and how to do it and some of the practical aspects of that. So make sure and click on that interview and watch it. It'll be worth your time. All you clinicians out there should do it. Now, whether or not it will become routine, whether or not it'll become standard of care, whether or not you'll get sued if you don't do it, those things will evolve. But I do think it will be part of your everyday life. So good to keep up to speed on that. And then lastly, sort of an emotional note to make, and that is, this is the actual 25th anniversary of something I bet you remember. That's when Katie Couric had a colonoscopy on television. And it was in a morning TV program, the Today Show. And she did that because, of course, her husband had had colon cancer, and she became quite a strong advocate. Her sister, Emily, later develops pancreas cancer and dies of that. And she's been very involved in Stand Up to Cancer and so many things. But I think back about that moment when Katie Couric said, you got to be getting your colonoscopy. And the reason it comes up is that, one, we're giving her a 25th anniversary award here at Georgetown coming up, one of our luminary awards. So we're very excited about it. So I'm going to get to see her later this week and thank her in person. But I was also thinking about the impact that I believe she has had on the number of people that get colon cancer. If you really do the math, the interventions that have changed with colonoscopy, et cetera, in the United States has probably reduced the number of people who get colon cancer every year by about 20,000 per year. Now, 150,000 people get colon cancer every year. It would be much higher than that if we didn't have effective screening. So screening works. fewer people in our clinics, and we need to applaud her for all that she has done. So that's all the gossip there is fit to print for this session of Oncology Unscripted. I hope it gives you a little something to think about, look up, or consider as you move forward in your day tomorrow. John Marshall. See you later.